There's a population on Earth that has been genetically isolated for at least 50,000 years. I've wanted to talk about this for a while, but I've ended up avoiding it. Every time it comes up in my classes, it devolves into something really ugly. So let's try to approach it and dispel some of the myths. Papua New Guinea and the Solomon Islands are host to some of the most unique genetics in the world. Humans migrated to the area for around 100,000 years ago, and they ended up becoming isolated 50,000 years ago, until recently. This population speaks over 100 different dialects in just a tiny area, and their cultures have been isolated and developed in a completely unique way. We see cultural practices and hairstyles and art that exist nowhere else on Earth. Interestingly enough, though, they have unique genetics, too. The Solomon Islands is host to a natural gene for blonde hair that exists alongside dark skin, and it's not the same gene that makes Europeans blonde. It's a totally unique one. The Papua New Guinea population is divided into the lowlanders and the highlanders. Both populations have around 5% Denisovian DNA, which is really not that different than Europeans who have around 4% Neanderthal DNA. Denisovians and Neanderthals were, in my opinion, just another group of humans. It's very clear we had successful offspring. The lowlanders used their genes from Denisovians and have a natural resistance to malaria, whereas the highlanders have genes that prevent hypoxia. These genes are pretty similar to the ones we see in Tibetans, who also have genes that prevent hypoxia at high elevations. I really wish that we could study genetics and cultures without devolving into a really ugly place.